Hi, and welcome to Yoga with Shanny Leigh. Thank you for joining me, Shannon, for this Vinyasa flow, focusing on opening up your neck and your shoulders. So today we'll be twisting and revolving and stretching and kind of working out all of the tension that we all carry. And yeah, just opening up. So I'll have you settle on your mats and close your eyes if that feels comfortable, and we'll get started. So as we find a comfortable cross-legged seat, Sukhasana, easy seat, I invite you to draw attention to your breath, maybe for the first time today. It's something that we all do automatically, right? But something that we maybe obviously don't think about, since we don't have to think about it. So to help us center here, I invite you to notice how the breath fills up the body, letting it expand your belly, your chest. And your hands here can be palms up or palms down on your knees. If you want to have them heart center on your third eye, you can. I invite you to have a slightly tucked chin, not super tucked, right? But just so I tend to notice myself gazing up. So helping the chin just slightly down to neutralize the spine and the back of the neck. Sitting up nice and tall here. And if it's part of your practice to set an intention, I invite you to think about something, a weight, a feeling of guilt or responsibility or what have you, that you're carrying, that feels heavy, that's weighing you down. And try to let go a little bit. I know that's hard, but you're here, you're on your mat, that's half the battle. Right, we all put rocks into our imaginary backpacks and they get heavy, and maybe we don't necessarily need to carry all those rocks around. So working on opening up the shoulders, loosening our backs from all of the weight that we carry through our jobs, our families, our responsibilities. Just take 1 second here and think about a rock that maybe you can take out of your backpack. Maybe not forever, maybe just for the next couple of minutes, maybe for your practice, and then you'll put it back in. If you like to visualize, and I invite you to visualize actually taking something out of that backpack and putting it off to the side. Let's take one more round of breath here. Big exhale, let it go. And then if your hands are in a mudra or at any place apart from on your knees, palms down, I invite you to find your hands there as you sit up just a little bit straighter. Maybe you started to slouch already, that's okay. Big inhale. And on the exhale, let your right ear drop to your right shoulder. Maybe your eyes stay closed. Maybe you already start to flutter them open. Whichever you want. And then let your chin come down towards your chest. Actually bringing it towards your chest now. Stretching out the back of the neck. And then as you are ready, bringing your left ear to your left shoulder. And then maybe come back to the chest and maybe roll all the way back to the right. Or you roll all the way around, or maybe start to look up and down, whatever feels good in your neck. Starting to work out the tension. Maybe you just woke up and you're all tight from sleeping, or maybe you've been on the road all day or working all day in front of a computer. Maybe you've been carrying kids around all day and just everything's kind of tight. So one more round of breath here. And then let your head find stillness and start to invite some shoulder rolls. Again, your eyes can stay closed or open. Keeping mine closed just for a little bit longer. Wiggle anything else out. And then as you are ready, let your hands slowly come to your side. And I invite you, if they aren't already open, to flutter your eyes open. Maybe you smile. Smiling always helps. And on your next inhale, arms reach up into the sky. Big stretch. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Lean it over to the right. Feel the stretch, yes, here, but also just through the shoulder and side body. And then bring it back up and switch the grip and take it to the other side. Try to keep your chest from caving in, right? Imagining that you're stretching between two imaginary panes of glass or something soft if you don't like the idea of glass. One more round of breath here. Inhale, lift it up, and then let your fingertips come to your shoulder blades. Take a few circles here, drawing the elbows up and out, back and down. And then switch direction. Notice on the movement of your shoulder cavity. And then bring them back to that T. Big inhale here, and we'll twist to the right. And inhale, and twist to the left. Now you can keep going slow like that, or you can begin to slowly speed it up. Just continuing to breathe here. Taking about one more round of breath. And then come back to stillness. Inhale, arms lift up, and then have your left hand come to your right knee as you gaze over the right shoulder. Sometimes I'm like, which hand is it, left, right? Sure, we all get confused on directions. One more round of breath. And then just gently swing it over to the other side and bring your other hand to your other knee, gazing over your left shoulder. Nice big stretch here. One more round of breath. And then exhale, come back to center. Wiggle anything else out that you need. Exhale, sigh it out. And we'll make our way to tabletop. If you want to roll right on over, you can. Otherwise, I invite you to find your way onto your hands and knees. Hands firmly plant against the mat. And find a flat back here just for a second. And actively push the floor away. Gripping with all 10 fingertips. One more round of breath here. Exhale, side out. And then let your head hang. Maybe nod, maybe shake. Release anything. One more round of breath. And then come back to your tabletop. Find stillness. Moving through our cows and cats. Inhale, belly drops. Shine your chest forward as you keep gripping them out with your fingertips. And exhale. Continue to push down into your fingertips so you arch your back. Let's do 4 more times to wake up the spine. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. 3 more rounds of breath. Big inhale brings you into Vinyasa. And big exhale brings you into Marjaryasana. Twice more. Movement and breath, linking the two. The last one. And exhale. And then one more thing on our knees here. I invite you to walk your hands slightly in closer together. Left hand stays firm on the mat. Inhale, right arm opens up, big, big, big stretch, and we'll thread the needle, weaving our arm underneath and off towards the left. Now your left hand can stay on the mat here. If you want to stretch out your lats or like right under your armpit / low shoulder blade, I invite you to walk your hand out straight overhead. Or if you know you like to find a bind, you can wrap your hand around your low back. I should say your forearm. So whichever one works for you. Just one more round of breath here. And then wherever your left hand is, I invite you to bring it back by your face. Push up into your hand and come back into tabletop, and we'll take that on the other side. Right hand finds the mat. Inhale, left arm side extension, nice big stretch. Thread the needle here on the other side. Left arm shoots off towards the right. And now again, your hand can be by your face. You can tiptoe it out overhead if you want to get more into the low shoulder region, or you can turn your palm around, bend your elbow and bind around your low back. 2 more rounds of breath here. Just waking up the body here for 1 more moment before we begin our flow. Big sigh out. Continue to let something go. Let something out of your backpack go. Bring your right hand back by your face. Lift it back up. Tabletop pose. Take a second here. Last moment to wiggle anything else out. Shake anything else out. And then exhale. Find stillness. Tuck your toes on your inhale. Moving to downward facing dog. On your exhale, lift your hips. Send them back and adjust as needed into our first Adho Mukha Svanasana of the practice. Continuing to grip with all 10 fingers. If you get a lot of wrist pain in yoga, one thing you can try is practice strengthening your fingers and gripping more with your fingers and not just pressing through the heel of your hand. Maybe you walk your dog here by kneading the earth, the mat away. Let's take 1 more round of breath here. Exhale, side out as you find stillness. Maybe you feel your backpack sliding off your back in this inversion. Next, inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, find your way forward. Exhale to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow it down, stay here, Uttanasana, forward fold. Maybe you find ragdoll by having your hands in the crease of your elbows. It's always a hard one for me to say. Like, it's not cross your arms, wiggle it out. And now we'll do kind of an interesting, I should say maybe uncommon variation of a common stretch. So if you ever did school sports, you'll know this one. If your hands are linked, release them back to the mat, find stillness if you're wiggling, and then let your right arm cross over your left. Bend your left so you're doing your deltoid stretch, right? So when you're standing, you're crossing it, but do that same motion now hanging over your legs. Just notice how that stretch feels in the body. 1 more round of breath here. And then release and we'll switch it. Crossing the left over the right, hooking the right arm around the left and finding your stretch. Soft knees, right? You're not popping your knees out. There should be a nice little bend so you could bounce around if you needed. 1 more round of breath here. Exhale, release. And then left hand finds the mat. Inhale, right arm opens to the sky. Big, big stretch. And exhale, release it back to the mat and take it to the other side. Right hand finds the mat, left arm opens up. Actively continue to push the mat away. Exhale back down. And now finding plain arms, we'll lift halfway like we did in our halfway lift, but bringing our arms out to the side. Inhale, lift up, use your back muscles. Fly your arms back, feel your shoulders crunch together at the back. And exhale, lower again. Twice more. Inhale, fly it halfway up. And fly it down. Last time, inhale. And exhale, release. Really bend to the knees so you can tuck your tailbone, your chin, slowly roll it up. All the way into standing. Shoulders roll up and back and down. Take a moment here, reconnect. Maybe you close your eyes if they are open. Just find a soft bend in the knees, firmly gripping the mat with the heels of your feet, kind of the top of the foot pad, toes. Maybe you lift your toes and spread them out and put them back down. Inhale, stand up just a little bit straighter if you were slouching, and then bring your left hand behind you, grab kind of like either right below or right above, around your right elbow, and then lean your right ear toward your right shoulder. So you're stretching out the left side. I'll take 1 more round of breath there. And then release, and we'll take it to the other side. Now, grabbing behind your back, around your left elbow, and then bringing your left ear towards your left shoulder. So you're stretching out the right side of your neck. Soften the knees, stay active in your core. Glutes and legs are active. One more round of breath here. And exhale, release. Inhale, big stretch up. And interlace your fingers behind your head. Inhale, open the elbows. Exhale, draw them closed. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, draw them closed again. Soften the knees. Fall forward, bringing the crown of your head towards the earth, keeping the bind at the nape of your neck. Feel it stretch. If that's too much, you can just release your hands. One more round of breath here. And then slowly release. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, moving into chair pose. Sit your hips back and then lift your arms up into the sky. Inhale, Utkatasana. Feel your shoulders staying active now. Working them after we've been stretching them. One more round of breath. And exhale, fold, release to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift once more to shine the chest forward. Stepping the left foot back first. Drop your back knee. And then inhale, arms sweep up into your low Anjaneyasana lunge. Take a second, get into the hips a little bit here. One more round of breath. And then bend the left tricep, grab it with the right hand, and stretch it out. Take one more round of breath. And then inhale, arms reach up, interlace the fingers, bring them behind your head once more. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, draw your elbows in towards your front knee. Inhale, grounding down through the front heel more than the front toes. You can even lift the front toes if you want. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, open up, lift up, arms stretch into the sky. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Shine your chest forward, inhale. And exhale, sink just a little bit. Left hand plants firmly on the mat, right hand opens up into the sky. Inhale the breath. Stay here on the exhale, twisted lunge. And now we'll flow towards a reverse revolved low lunge. 3 times holding the reversed pose. That 3rd time. So inhale, push into your front leg. Bring your back hand back as you extend the other one up overhead. And exhale, bring it back down again. Twice more. Inhale, pull up. Fling the arms around. And exhale, back down. Maybe not fling, maybe with a little more control. Inhale, lift up again. And stay here, exhale. Big stretch. Really drawing the shoulders away from the ears. One more round of breath. And then exhale. Take it back to the mat. All the way down. Both hands frame your foot. Inhale, shine your chest forward. Woo! Bring your knees back together. Release the hip flexor tension. Tabletop pose. Maybe shake it out a bit. And then inhale, shift your weight forward. Bend your elbows, keeping them close to drop. Just your chest and your chin to the mat. And then slither your way down, roll your shoulders back, and inhale, lift the chest off the mat, baby cobra. Hold here for a moment to really feel the activation of pulling your shoulders and your elbows back. Take a breath. And then exhale, lower all the way down, come onto your forehead, and let your hands come out into a T. Inhale the breath here, and then pull your left heel, the heel of your left hand towards your ribs and push into that hand to roll onto your right side. And you can keep your legs stacked. You can bend your top knee so that you drop your back foot or your top foot behind your bottom knee. Finding what I call the Cobra T-arm stretch. I don't know if it has a better name than that, but that's what I go with. One more round of breath here. And then slowly roll it back onto the mat. We'll do the other side, the other end. Bring your hands back to their cobra pose, fingers forward, heels firmly on the mat, right beside your chest. Rising cobra, lift your entire chest off the mat this time. And then tuck your toes, downward facing dog, lift it up, send it back. Take a second here again, walk something out. If you want to find movement, you don't have to. And then if you are moving, find stillness. Inhale the breath. And on the exhale, bend your right elbow so that you can look under your left armpit. Take a second there. And then come back through center and we'll do the other side. Bend the left elbow low and gaze under the right arm. And then bring it back. Exhale. Ground down in the right foot. Inhale, left leg lifts up into the sky. If you want, you can bend the leg and open the hip. Otherwise, just keep lifting to get a little more glute action. One more round of breath. And then taking it to the other side. Exhale, step all the way through. Back, knee back and down. Inhale, arms circle up. And we'll take it to our low lunge on the other side. Take one more round of breath. Shoulders melt away from ears. And then this time bend your right elbow. Find your right tricep stretch. Grounding down through the front heel. Hips are still facing forward. One more round of breath. And then inhale, arms reach up again. Interlace your fingers. Bring them to the nape of your neck. Inhale, open your chest, open your elbows. And then draw it in. Exhale. A little bit of balance here too, right? Inhale, open, gazing up. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, last time here. And exhale. Inhale, back through center, arms lift up and take them to the mat. Exhale, shine your chest forward, inhale, and then undulate back down. Right hand plants firmly on the mat. Inhale, left arm opens up. Stay here in a nice twisted lunge, a revolved lunge. Actively press the mat away. And if you find that your shoulder's turning in, imagine that you're opening a jar with your hand to help the external rotation. One more round of breath, and then we'll find our 3 pullbacks. Use your abs, lift it up, and then bring it back down. On the inhale, lift up. And exhale down. And lift back up again. And settle here. So your left, I should say, shoulder is drawing away from your ear. Your right hand is reaching into the sky. And then exhale, bring it all the way back to the mat. Unwind, inhale, shine the chest forward, taking it to the top of the mat. Lift your back knee and big step on an exhale to the front of your mat, bringing your legs together. Shake it out. And inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Bow it back towards the mat, Uttanasana. Rise all the way up, arms circle up into the sky in your upward salute. And exhale, hands come heart centered. Take a breath. And another. Exhale, slide out. And then we'll go again. Inhale, arms reach up. This time stay standing, bring your hands behind you. Exhale, find a bind in the fingers. If that doesn't work, just grab your elbows or your wrists somewhere. Pull your chest open. And then hinge from the waist to exhale, soft the knees. Bring your bind up overhead. Release the shoulders. One more round of breath here. And then exhale, release the grip. Inhale, halfway lift, finding Utkatasana. Exhale, sit the hips down. Arms reach up overhead. Hold here. One more round of breath. And then exhale, release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten the legs. Bend the knees, and this time stepping the right foot back, coming back into a left leg forward. Drop your back heel back and down 45 degrees. And inhale, circle the arms up to come into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Finding 90 in the front leg. Checking your posture, trying to find your weight in the outer edge of your back foot. And finding your knee stacked right over your ankle. Shoulders continue to melt away from your ears. One more round of breath. Exhale, side out. And then finding our tricep stretch, bend your right elbow. Pull it back. Feel that stretch. One more round of breath. And then inhale, arms reach up. And finding our bind behind us, exhale. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, pull the shoulders away. And exhale, float over your front leg. Humble warrior, Baddha Virabhadrasana. So you can rest your entire torso on your leg if you want, a little less active, or you can stay lifted off of it. Whichever you want. One more round of breath. And then exhale, release the hands, arms circle back up, opening up into Warrior Two. Exhale, turn your heel in so that your toes are parallel to the long edge of your mat. Keep this nice 90-degree bend in the front leg. Virabhadrasana 2. Take a breath here. And then we'll have you flip your palms up. Notice that in the shoulders. And then trying to keep that, just turn the hands back down. Take one more round of breath here. Hold the shaking on the front leg. And then backhand back and down. Inhale, other arm sweeps up overhead, reverse your warrior. One more round of breath here, and now we'll find the left tricep stretch with the left arm, pulling it back. Or you can find your bind if you know that's part of your practice. I won't cue that part. Whichever one works for you. Stay 90 in the front leg, unless you need to straighten it to wiggle it out, and to then get back in. One more round of breath. And then inhale, arms reach up straight, and we'll cross our right elbow over our left, and either give yourself a little hug or find eagle arms. Take a round of breath here, and we'll draw circles with our torso. So inhale, lift the elbows slightly, begin to draw them towards your back leg, and then find a circle. Do that 2 more times here. Once more. I know the front leg is shaking. Inhale, come back up through center, release your hands, send them back to that T, and then exhale, hands frame your front foot, find your plank, release your front leg. Inhale, shift your weight forward, drop your knees, and then drop your chest. Slither on baby cobra, pull the shoulders back, and exhale, lay it down. We'll take it to the stretch on the other side. Let your hands come out to a T. And then come to the left side of your face. Pull the heel of your right hand in, and then push into that hand to roll onto your left side. So your legs can be stacked. Maybe you bend your top leg to drop the top foot over the bottom knee, or behind the bottom knee, I should say. If you want to increase the stretch, you can have the hand that's on the floor and a goal post. You probably won't be able to do the whole thing in the bottom. You might just be stacked, or not even that. It's a pretty intense stretch, but if you're super tight, that's an option too. One more round of breath here. And then slowly roll it back onto your stomach. Bring both hands back into the cobra pose. Shine your entire chest forward. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a round of breath here. Exhale, side out, and now find your weight only in your left hand so that you can draw your right hand underneath and twist it off towards the left leg. Feel the stabilization in the shoulder. One more round of breath. Exhale, release, and we'll take it to the other side. Ground down in the right hand. Bring the left arm underneath. Find your twist. Feel the stabilization in the right shoulder. Last round of breath. And then downward facing dog again. Extend it back up, ground down in the left foot. This time right leg opens up into the sky. Keeping everything square, maybe you hold here, or maybe you open. If you want to get a little hip action, one more round of breath. And we'll take our warrior sequence on the other side. Exhale, draw the foot all the way through. Back heel back and down 45 degrees. Arms sweep up to the sky. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Take a round of breath here. Exhale, side up. Left tricep bends. Grab it, or you can find your bind if you know that works for you. Just work on opening the tricep, opening the shoulder. Take one more round of breath here. And then inhale, arms sweep back up. Exhale, hands find your bind behind your back. If you are interlacing your fingers, find the way that feels funky this time maybe. Inhale, pull the shoulders back. Exhale, humble warrior, bow it forward. Maybe even hang your head. Lots of options. So the hanging the head, staying lifted off the front leg is going to be more challenging. Or if you rest and keep your head neutral, you'll feel probably a little more stable. Whichever one you're in, continuing to actively pull your shoulders away from your ears. One more round of breath. And then release. Inhale, arms circle up, and we'll open up into our warrior 2 on the other side. Exhale. Opening up the hips towards the long edge of your mat. And then your back heel and foot parallel with the back of the mat. And take a breath as you settle here. Practicing our hand movement again. Finding T in the arms, gazing over the front fingers. Flip the palms up. Notice how your shoulders kind of roll back. And then try to keep that in the shoulders and chest. Turn the hands back around. A super minor movement. So if you're like, nope, that feels exactly the same, that's okay. One more round of breath. And then reverse your warrior. Either stay here or bend your right elbow. Find maybe the bind behind your back. Or simply grab your elbow and guide it back with the left hand. Either option works. Invite the shaking in the front knee. Continue to ground down through the outer edge of the back foot. One more round of breath. And then arms reach up, and we'll now cross our left elbow over our right. Either give yourself a hug or find your eagle arms. Settle in there. Inhale, maybe lift up. And then begin to bring it to the back. And forward and through. Twice more. Whichever you're doing. A little self-hug. Garudasana arms. Last revolution here. Inhale, come back. And shoot your arms back out. Warrior 2. Inhale the breath here. And taking it to the front of our mat. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Square everything off. Inhale the breath. Prep. Stepping the back foot up. Exhale, let it join the front foot. Shake it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Inhale the breath. And exhale, hands heart center. I think I said inhale twice. It's like inhale the breath. Inhale. You only need to do one inhale to get yourself up, unless you need to. Take a breath here. Exhale out. We've just got one more little flow for you before we bring it down to the mat. So as you're here, I invite you to begin to walk your feet forward, bringing your big toes together or your heels together, your big toes slightly apart, whatever feels better in your knees. And then we'll come into chair pose from here. Inhale, arms circle up first. Sit the hips back and down. Exhale, Utkatasana. Arms are reaching for the sky. One more round of breath here. And then hands come heart center in prayer. Exhale. Inhale the breath, and we'll twist the left elbow over towards the right. Exhale, hooking it and finding our prayer twist. So here I encourage you to actively push into your hands and actively push your elbow into your knee. You'll feel everything open up just a little bit more. One more round of breath. Exhale, side out, and now we'll step our left foot back. As ready, prep, put your weight in your right foot, inhale, and then exhale, step the left back to come into prayer twist lunge. Take a round of breath here. And remember how we flowed in a revolution 3 times? We're gonna do that from here. So inhale, begin to open it up, send your back hand back and your other hand up. And then you can just bring it back to the mat. Exhale, don't need to come back into prayer. Twice more. Inhale, find your balance. And exhale. Last one, inhale. Stay here, exhale. Reverse, revolved lunge. Take a breath, maybe smile. I had a yoga teacher that did that and I just enjoyed it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's not serious, right? It's not about being serious with ourselves. One more in a breath and then we're going to come into reverse revolved, or revolved, not reverse, revolved half moon pose. That's what I want to say. Exhale, left hand comes to the mat right in front of your right foot. Bend into this front leg to lift the back leg into the sky and then extend your right hand into the sky. Really lift that back leg so it's not just floating, but it's actively lifting. Gazing up if you can. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana pose. One more round of breath. And then exhale, square everything off to the mat. Inhale, standing splits. And exhale, step your foot together. Release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow it down. Roll all the way up. Inhale. Arms come up last. And exhale, hands heart center. We'll get to do that all on the other side and then we'll bring it down to the mat. Walk your toes in, again together, or your heels, whichever feels better, and your knees. Arms reach up. Utkatasana, sit it down. Hang out here, just for one more moment. Feel your shoulders, but they're not up by your ears, but drawing down as your fingertips are reaching forward, opposite directions. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale the breath here, and find your prayer twist towards the left. Outside of your right elbow hooks the outside of your left knee. Again, actively press into your hands, into your elbow. Take a round of breath. And then stepping our right foot back, staying in this prayer twist. Inhale to crack, begin to transfer the weight. With control, exhale, step back. If you fall over, that's okay. Just come into a prayer twist in your lunge. Actively continue to press away. One round of breath. And then unwind your arms as you circle the back one back and reach the other one forward. And then exhale, right hand to the mat. Left hand into the sky. Twice more. Inhale, push in your front heel to lift up. And exhale, bring it down. Once more. Inhale, lift and hold here in your reverse revolved lunge. Continue to check in that your knee isn't going in. One more round of breath. And then coming in to our revolved half moon. Exhale, right hand to the mat, a little bit in front of your left foot. And then inhale, press into your left foot to lift your right into the sky as your left hand extends in the sky and you gaze off towards the left. Invite the shaking. Keep lifting with your glute so your foot isn't hovering halfway. One more round of breath. And then both hands come to mat, square your chest off. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, release the feet together. Side out. Invite the sweat. One more round of breath here. Exhale, side up. Soft bend in the knees so you can bring yourself back up. Arms reach into the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands come heart center. Notice your heart, notice your breath, notice your body, your shoulders, your neck. Last round of breath. One more chair pose and we'll bring it down. Bring your feet back together. Inhale, arms circle up, upward salute. Exhale, sit the hips down, Utkatasana chair. So I'm going to roll onto my back, knees in my chest, and then shoot back up into chair a couple of times. If you want to join me, you can. You can just stay here or you can come onto your back, your choice. So if you're rolling with me, inhale the breath, and then exhale, sit it all the way down, roll back, and all the way forward again into chair. Let's do that 4 more times. Exhale, roll it on back, and inhale, chair pose. Like you're getting a little massage, right? That's what's going on. Lift it up, and exhale, whoop, and bring it up. And then exhale, we'll all come back onto our backs and stay here. Sigh it out. Catch your breath. Bite the sweat. So just got a few more things for you. So if I'm at the very edge of my mat. If you want to pull yourself down, I'm going to be cueing Halasana, plow pose, which is when you put your feet up overhead. So if you think you're going to hit something like I think I'm going to do, adjust yourself on your mat. If you don't want to go into plow, we'll be in bridge first. So lots of options here. Release your feet back to the mat, knees are bent. And take a second here to tuck your tailbone so that there's no space between your low back and the mat. And then just take a moment, feel the shoulders drawing down towards the edge of the mat. And then we'll move into bridge pose. Let your hands come beside your hips, ground down in the heels. From the heels, push up, squeeze the glutes together. So I know we've done a lot of leg work, holding lunges and bridges, but the goal is focusing here. Try not to focus on the legs and the burn, but focus on the shoulder and neck opening here. Take 1 more round of breath, and then begin to walk your shoulders in, and then lie back down. This time you'll probably have a nice big gap, so you can come into that again, or you can do shoulder stand and then plow pose. If you want to do shoulder stand, lift your hips up into bridge. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want if you don't want to follow any of this. And then I like to bring my knees into my chest and use momentum in that like similar rocking motion like we just did to come up into a shoulder stand. Taking a round of breath here. Maybe you keep your legs straight. Maybe you bend one knee in and then the other. It kind of just depends. You can do a V with your legs, whatever feels good. Hands at your low back or mid back supporting you. And then if you want to come into plow pose, you can just straighten your legs and drop them over. Or you can bring your knees into your forehead first. And then you can extend one leg. Feel the super intense hamstring stretch. Maybe you extend the other. And now you can stay here if you want. If that feels good, you can let your hands come back to the mat. If you're not in plow pose, if you're like, my body does not work that way, you can continue to do bridge. You can just be on your back doing a supine twist. You can do happy baby. Lots of options. So just spend a few more rounds of breath here. Plow pose is just one of my favorites. I just get super tight. I tend to sleep on my side no matter how hard I try not to. And then I just wake up super tight. So this is one of my favorite things to do in the morning, is just to stretch everything out. Let's take 1 more round of breath here if you're in plow with me. And then we'll all meet onto our backs. First, I draw one knee in and then the other. And then I like to bring my arms and around the backs of my legs and hug them in to slowly, I was going to say roll, slowly roll, I don't know what that word was, slowly roll out of it. Whew. Take a second here. Let your body adjust. And then slowly unwind your arms if they're around your legs somehow, and let's bring our arms out to a T, and we'll drop our knees over towards the right, and knees over the left shoulder. Let's take 1 more round of breath here. And then use your core to pull your legs in and take them to the other side as you gaze over the right. One more round of breath. And then slowly make your way back to center. Maybe you hug your knees again. If there's anything else you want to do in your practice, you can. Otherwise, you can slowly let the soles of your feet come back onto the mat. And then maybe you adjust all the way out. If you're off your mat, you can wiggle to be on it again unless that doesn't bother you. And we'll settle here into our Savasana pose, corpse pose. Your arms can be out by your sides, palms up. Maybe you have one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach. Maybe both are on your stomach. If you want to continue to open up the chest, you can bring your arms out like a goal post and just continue to open up. You can extend your arms up overhead. Whatever you need. Again, today was to open up the shoulders and the neck, so we don't have to do a traditional pose or traditional Shavasana if we don't want. Let's take about 5 more rounds of breath here. If you want a longer Shavasana, feel free to pause this video, or when this video ends, I will close us out in my seat. You can stay right where you're at. And stay here as long as you want. If you have 5 more minutes, I encourage you to stay for 5 more minutes, whatever feels good for you. Let's do one more round of breath here together. And big sigh out. Exhale, release. Maybe begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Maybe if you're not already there, you stretch overhead, or you just wiggle a bit more. Maybe bring one foot to the mat and then the other, kind of however you want, right? You can continue to roll it out. You can roll like we did from the chair pose into a seat, or you can come onto your side if you want. Use your arm on the bottom like a little pillow. And again, smile here with whatever you're doing and whatever posture you're in. Invite a smile into your lips. It's hard to be upset and smile at the same time. Maybe say something positive about yourself. Into the top hand to help yourself get up, and you can settle in to whatever seat you want for final asana. Now I invite you to recall if at any point your backpack suddenly fell off. Maybe you continue to carry some things with you, and maybe all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, like I actually stopped worrying about something for 5 or 10 minutes or however long, right? Well, now you are perfectly allowed to leave that backpack off to the side, leave the rocks you took out off to the side. I like visualization, so if you want to close your eyes and visualize yourself leaving it, or maybe you have to put it back on, but maybe you only choose to put some rocks back into it. And I hope that you feel stronger and more loose and open and more relaxed to carry on with whatever you need to carry for the rest of the day. I thank you for sharing this class with me, for letting me be a part of your practice, for watching this video. My name is Shannon, and this is Yoga with Shanny Leigh. I wish you the best in your week or day or however long until we see each other again to come. And the light in me loves and honors the light in you. Namaste.